Chairman. Ms. Pilati, you, according to the information provided to the committee, you had a meeting with the Authors Guild and the Association of American Publishers in New York between December 7th and December 9th of last year. Can you tell me who attended that meeting, what was the substance of the discussion, and was SOPA a topic of the meeting?
Yes, thank you. I remember the trip because my family came up to join me in New York, and we went to the Empire State Building at midnight on Saturday night, and Representative Goodlatte was there with his family, and my children said, I can't believe we can't even go to the Empire State Building without you running into people you work with. But at that meeting, I had been asked by the Publishers Lawyers Committee, the in-house counsel for lawyers, people who work every day in copyright transactions and litigation, to come and speak. And again, whenever I take a trip, I try to do additional meetings to maximize my time. And so I met again with the business people who are in the Association of American Publishers, so not the lawyers, but the CEOs and business people, to talk again about the priorities of the Copyright Office. Then went and met with the Authors Guild, again, just to go over my priorities and special documents. And was SOPA a subject of the discussion? SOPA and PIPA were introduced at that point, so it would have been discussed in those terms, but in general, rogue websites have been a topic for the Copyright Office for a year. Let me ask you to do this. You haven't mentioned the names of the people you met with, so let me ask you, in addition to the names of the people you met with in Hollywood, that you provide the names of the people you met with in New York, and if you could please, a summary of the topics discussed at each meeting. You know, like you, I love books, I love reading, but I'm also mindful that technological changes are evolving the dominant forms of creative work throughout our history, and they certainly are today. In recent remarks to the American Association of Publishers, you said that, and I assume this is correctly quoted, you cannot imagine the future without books and without publishers. Now, do you believe that the preservation of a particular form of copyright works or a particular industry business model is part of your mission as the Registrar of Copyrights? And if not, what did you mean by that comment? Yeah, thank you. I was not discussing a particular format of books. I was talking about books. And in that speech, I had been asked to trace the history of copyright through books. It was the annual meeting of the members of the Association of American Publishers. And so I traced it from the time of the first Copyright Act in 1790 to the Golan decision, in which Justice Ginsburg repeated that her decision was based, in fact, on the framers' intent that dissemination of works was part of the copyright bundle. That was the point of my remarks. Let me ask all of the witnesses about discrimination. We're aware, we've seen in the newspaper, of an allegation of an individual who asserts that he was fired because of his sexual orientation. Now, I won't get into that particular case because it's being investigated, but we have no tolerance here for discrimination in employment in violation of our laws. So I would like to know, what are each of you doing to make sure that the employees within your purview are not discriminated against based on race, religion, gender, or sexual orientation? I can start with you, Mr. Mel.
Thank you. The Law Library of Congress, and indeed the Library of Congress, believes very firmly that there should not be any discrimination, and believes in its mission to provide an environment where there is no discrimination. Now, specifically in the Law Library, one thing that I have done since taking on the position of law librarian is to ensure the proper training for the staff. So I've encouraged staff to participate in the classes that are available through the Library of Congress. And indeed, at one of the first management team meetings that I held in the Law Library, I invited representatives from our Office of Opportunity, Inclusiveness, and Compliance to come and brief our staff about the issue. And we were planning on making that session available to the staff as well. And
Thank you. Dr. Mazanek, and all of you, if you could be brief, that would be good because I'm running out of time.
Very specifically, we try to address any issues around discrimination as rapidly as we can. We also try to educate our employees about workplace discrimination, and also educate our managers. Diversity is highly valued at the library. It makes us do our job better.
I just repeat everything that my colleagues have said. I have also instituted supervisory training, and I have an open door policy, which my staff have taken advantage of.
And I guess I'll add a fourth voice to all of that, but I will also say that I think it's important that our collections are so diverse, and they reflect such diverse cultures that in a sense we have the environmental underpinning for diversity there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My time is expired.
Thank you, Ms. Lofgren.